Try playing with detached Joy-Con controllers? No, that's okay. I'm not a serial killer, but thank you! Super Mario Odyssey, a title for the Switch that from day one was hailed as an instant classic. This is the game that made me want to Switch after trying a demo of it in a GameStop. Once I got my hands on it, I instantly fell in love with it, and so did 17 million others apparently. This game was immediately met with critical and commercial success and has proven to be one of Nintendo's greatest ventures yet. The visuals, the music, the new features, and the complete 180 Nintendo did by making an open-world Mario game truly makes Mario Odyssey a hit. And after revisiting this game for the week, I have some things I want to say about it. So without further ado, this is my thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey. And yes, there will be spoilers ahead. In Super Mario Odyssey, the game opens up with Mario getting the shit kicked out of him by Bowser and losing his precious hat. Bowser hits Mario off his airship and takes off with Peach to go and marry her. F***ing ew. After landing in the Cap Kingdom, Mario meets a new buddy named Cappy, who is a somehow living hat. Cappy tells us that Peach's wedding tiara is actually his little sister, so Mario and Cappy decide to team up and rescue their loved ones. After this, Cappy takes the form of Mario's old hat and the two become companions. Fast forward a little bit and Mario possesses a frog, causing everyone who played this game for the first time to let out a collective "excuse me, what the f***?" This scene is the game introducing the big new mechanic: capturing enemies. Throw Cappy at an enemy, human, prehistoric creature, or object, and watch them grow a mustache as Mario takes control of them from the inside. Okay. Once you capture something, you can use your new body to jump higher, shoot enemies, break some boulders, and even fly. Regardless of how fucking disturbing this is, it's a great idea and it's really well executed. There are so many different things that you can capture, and they all have some fun quirk or gimmick to them that you can exploit to reach new areas or find secrets. You can also use Cappy to perform some incredible jumps and stunts. Using Cappy allows you to access places you normally wouldn't be able to, and there are some important areas you can find by doing this. We also learned that Cappy knows of an old rundown ship named the Odyssey that runs on power moons, this game's take on power stars. In order to resurrect the Odyssey, Mario and Cappy have to find more moons to get it churning. There's also multi-moons, which are rewarded for beating bosses or completing major objectives in the game. Speaking of which, meet the Brutals, Bowser's wedding planners who are also his hitmen that try to kill you. The Brutals aren't very difficult to beat, but these feral Easter bunnies definitely can make you slip up a few times. In order to reach new kingdoms and advance the story, Mario needs to defeat the boss in each stage, collect a certain number of power moons, and the Odyssey will fuel up and be ready to travel further. And so, with your objectives and new abilities, you can guide Mario and Cappy on a classic 3D Mario adventure. Or so you think. This game isn't like the other 3D Mario games, and this is why it gets so much praise. Mario Odyssey marks a huge turning point in the series. It completely flips the script of the older games by delving into a concept that had been touched on before, but never fully adopted: an open-world 3D Mario game. While yes, the older 3D Mario games had gorgeous worlds to explore like Mario 64 or Sunshine, there was always a somewhat linear path you had to follow. For the most part, you could go anywhere in the levels. But there was only one real objective to complete, and you were heavily nudged, if not completely forced to go in that direction. I think Mario Galaxy was the biggest perpetrator of this. There was a line of planets you had to follow and mostly couldn't stray too far off course. Or in Mario Sunshine, certain parts of the level would be blocked off and the game would guide you away from those parts because they weren't being used. They would also be kind of barren and have nothing to offer. These aren't bad things by any means, and those games are fantastic in their own ways, but it's good to bring it up as a comparison point. But in Mario Odyssey, each kingdom is yours to explore and you only have one set objective: beating the bosses in each kingdom. And even that can be one of the last moons you get before moving on. Other than that, your goal is to collect a certain number of moons, however you choose, and fill up the Odyssey with enough power to fly off to the next kingdom. Or you can stick around and try and collect more moons. It's your choice. God, I love freedom. You can find plenty of secrets, minigames, and bonuses for sticking around and exploring these vast areas. There's even a point in the story where you can choose which kingdom to fly to next, giving you even more freedom. Speaking of which, there are 17 kingdoms to explore in this game. 14 of them are part of the main story, and the remaining 3 are bonus kingdoms to unlock after collecting a certain number of power moons. Some of my favorites are the Cascade Kingdom with its beautiful lighting, the Snow Kingdom and the adorable Shiverians, and the Metro Kingdom because Come on, it's New York. Each kingdom has plenty of moons tucked away in various corners, and some of them are really well hidden. Some of them use the HD rumble feature of the Joy-Cons, so you have to feel the vibrations to figure out where they're hiding. That's another thing of note. This game uses the hell out of HD rumble, and it does so beautifully. My favorite example is riding the moped in New Donk City because the controller vibrates just how you'd expect it to, and it matches the engine revving you hear. Another detail that I love is that each kingdom has different colored moons to match its theme. And the purple coins, which are an in-game currency, change with the kingdoms too. Like the Mushroom Kingdom, which is a copy of the overworld from Mario 64, even changes the moons to stars and plays the music from 64. Or the Seaside Kingdom has purple shells instead of coins, which is just downright fucking adorable, and I love it! And by the way, I had to look this up because it's so ridiculous. Mario Odyssey has a complex system for collecting power moons, which includes buying some from shops, so it gets a little messy. But to my understanding, there are 880 unique power moons to collect in this game. Holy fucking shit. There's also a lot of variety in the types of moons you can collect. Like, some are really well hidden, while others are right in the open. Some might be easily collectible and require you to go up a fairly straightforward path, while others require some exploring and tricky maneuvering. This is another reason why I think this game deserves so much praise. If you're a less experienced player, you can find all of the easy moons and still have enough to move on to the next kingdom. But if you have more experience, there are plenty of hidden and challenging moons to make this worthwhile for you too. This all adds to the game's replayability and makes the game worth well more than the $60 it retails for. This game will have you searching for moons forever. Something else worth noting is that this game removed 1-ups and instead deducts 10 coins from you every time you die. You're more than likely gonna have some issues performing certain stunts, so it's nice that the game developers lessen the penalty for dying. Again, this also makes the game more accessible to less experienced players, but it also encourages you to explore every nook and cranny to collect more coins. And as a result of that, you're bound to find some secrets. Now you might be thinking, I can't collect 880 moons in just my standard clothes. I need some variety. Well, Mario Odyssey tells you to stop whining because there are plenty of options to choose from in this game. You can purchase outfits using coins, and you can mix and match them to become a construction worker, a clown, a sailor, a pilot, and even a football-playing caveman. All of these factors combined are the reason this game receives such high marks. Finally, we have a true open-world 3D Mario game that is full of charm, variety, and replayability. Every kingdom clearly has a lot of thought and time put into them, and the amount of creativity that went into hiding moons is just delightful. Combine that with the outfits and the challenge of finding all 880 power moons, and this game will keep you coming back for more. Visually, this game is pure eye candy. The lighting is what really takes the cake for me here. The sun causes a lot of lens flares, and everything seems to have a nice sheen to it, so the game is wonderfully shiny. Take that and add the usual Nintendo polish, and you'll see tiny details like Mario's clothes dripping, footprints in the sand, and little dances and facial expressions that really bring him to life. All of the characters are very detailed, and the models are gorgeous, even for the smaller NPCs. And before you ask, no, I'm not attracted to Pauline. She's a video game character. I mean, that'd be so, like, you're great. Every environment in this game is so detailed and they feel completely alive. This game was the perfect launch title for the Switch because it showcases just how beautiful a game on a portable system can be. The kingdoms themselves are wonderfully done. Each one has a unique color palette, and certain ones like the Luncheon Kingdom really pop and provide some character. You'll also find that each kingdom really sticks to its own theme very well. Like the Sand Kingdom is heavily inspired by Mexico, and you can tell that right away from the building designs and the NPC's clothing. Or in the Metro Kingdom, not only does New Donk City give you a clue, but the men and women in suits, the taxis, and the skyscrapers all scream New York City. And to even further make each kingdom stick out from the rest, each kingdom's shop has clothing items specifically made to match the environment. You can also buy stickers and furniture for the Odyssey, which I always love to do. The soundtrack, of course, is a masterpiece. I mean, what else would you expect from Nintendo? Each kingdom's theme is beautiful, and the main theme, Jump Up Superstar, is definitely being played at my wedding. I'm sorry, future wife. But there is more music than just that song to appreciate in this game. There are some really catchy tunes here. Some of my personal favorites are Shiveria Town, the Metro Kingdom, the Steam Gardens, and the Seaside Kingdom. And each theme is adaptive, so it interacts with the environment. So things like going underwater or turning into an 8-bit form of yourself change the music. The 1-2 punch of the polished visuals and the absolutely wonderful soundtrack really makes Mario Odyssey tower over the older entries. This game is an incredible journey, and the soundtrack and visuals do not hold back. So, is Super Mario Odyssey worth it? Without a doubt, yes, this game is absolutely worth buying. Nintendo took a leap of faith putting everyone's favorite plumber in an open-world environment, but they aced it here. The storyline of trying to save Peach and Cappy's little sister is a newer take on the classic Mario plot, so it feels fresh yet familiar at the same time, making this a comfortable experience for old and new players alike. The gorgeous lighting and abundance of details in each kingdom really showcase the creativity and hard work Nintendo put into this game. And the sheer size of some of these kingdoms really show how mighty the Switch is, and it's pretty remarkable that we're able to get this experience on a fully portable system that uses tiny little cartridges. The music heightens the mood and theme for each kingdom and makes every last one feel completely different from the rest, so you genuinely feel like you're traveling the globe. This soundtrack might be the best one that Nintendo has ever put out, and I still boot this game up from time to time just to hear some of the songs. So, with all of this in mind, it should come as no surprise that I give Super Mario Odyssey a perfect 10 out of 10. It's a Nintendo classic that will not be forgotten anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.